there yet? Good morning, beloveds. The kittens are loose in the house. Although Gio is in here watching. I have no idea where Dante is. Woo! And now they're both in here. Okay, so we are doing Living the Science of Mind. So let us do the housekeeping really quick. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. The constant contact email is info@creativelife.org. You get one email a week. The hot links are hot, and it is a blind CC, so nobody will get your email from us. It just tells you what's going on for the week and the month. And like I said, you get one a week. It's a real person doing it. He doesn't have time for more than that unless something unusual happens, because I will remind you, we do live in hurricane country. So the last part of the housekeeping is the social medias. We do not monetize the social medias. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is to engage with the pages. Like, subscribe, follow based on which platform you are on. And then with the individual posts, please react, comment, and share. We think we have good tools to share, and we hope you agree. All right, I think that's everything on the housekeeping. And Dante has great big paws. He sounds like an elephant when he's running around at full speed. Because he just tore in here and tore back out. Gio, on the other hand, is laying down by the end of the table. All right. So this book is a collection of essays that came from the at-home course. It used to be in the back of the Science of Mind magazine. You could mail off for it. They'd mail you a lesson a week for 48 weeks. That's where these essays came from. Now, I think where the essays originally, again, pet theory, is people had questions, because that's what they are. They're answers to questions. So I think people had questions, and that ended up being an at-home course. And then they went out and pulled all but 2 of the essays from that to get this. Now, if you are interested in the at-home course, go to the Science of Mind archives and click their Amazon link, because I don't think you can buy it through the archive. You can't buy it from the archives, but you can buy it through the archives. And then the Amazon gives the archives some of the money. So that is definitely a way to do that. It took 6 books to bind those 48 lessons. And today we've been talking about treatment, because people always have questions about treatment. And today our title is Treatment is Independent of the One Who Gives It, which should be an interesting topic. And I'm not going to guess what it's about. So what I'm going to do is turn on my light and figure out where I'm going to put my postcard. I use like a bright green postcard to as a bookmark. Okay, so trusty highlighter is ready. Treatment is independent of the one who gives it. Spiritual mind healing is based on a definite principle, and one that works mathematically. In no way should this concept interfere with the beauty of it or undermine whether it is spiritual. The universe is a system of law and order plus the infinite presence or person. And from the standpoint of the human being, personalities. We are persons living in a mind principle that reacts mathematically upon our acceptance. Throughout the ages, this has been the secret faith and the answer to prayer. Ugh, okay. Not sure where he's going yet. Just what is the position of the person in this principle, and how does a spiritual mind treatment operate in such a way as to be independent even of the one who gives it? This consideration is of deep importance, for we should never feel that when we give a treatment, we must compel it to operate any more than we feel that if we plant an acorn, we must compel it to become an oak tree. The personal element is volition, which makes it possible for us to plant an acorn instead of an apple seed, and with complete certainty know that the answer will be an oak tree and not an apple tree. Okay, we're going to have to think about this. Hopefully he will explain this a little bit more. As far as the creation of the tree is concerned, we have nothing whatsoever to do with it. We have merely used a law of nature that responds to us, that operates upon the particular concept or the seed we buried in the ground, that some invisible force might operate upon it to produce the exact correspondence to the idea of our seed and not something else. We plant and cultivate the ground, but we do not really grow the garden. Nature does this for us. Okay, I see where he's going, but I'm going to give him a little bit more. Let's read a little bit more before I open my big mouth and put my 2 cents worth in. When we come into the field of spiritual mind treatment, we have not entered a field of chaos where nothing happens in accord with law. If this were true, we could place no reliance upon our treatment or the principle operating on it. We should be dealing with some whimsical fancy or with the caprice of some law in nature that might or might not respond to us mathematically and with complete certainty. It is in this sense that the treatment is independent of the one who gives it. That did not make sense to me. Okay. You can plant a garden for someone else in their plot of land, and it will grow if they cultivate it and water it. You can plant one in your own ground, and it will grow. You can scatter seeds by the roadside, and they will grow. All about us in nature, we see the variation of such plantings. Perhaps the wind has blown the seed. Perhaps it has been accidentally dropped. Possibly it has been consciously planted. But always the creative law produces in complete independence of the avenue through which the seed was planted. Okay, I see where he's going with this. What he's saying is it doesn't matter who gives the treatment. Okay? Once the treatment is planted in the mind, then the mind will operate on it. So the treatment who gives it doesn't matter. Okay. I think that's what his point is. Like, I can give the treatment. You can give the treatment. The Dalai Lama can give the treatment. It doesn't matter who does the treatment. The mind is going to work on it. That seems to be what he's going for here. A person giving a spiritual mind treatment should know that they are using such a law. There can be no argument against the existence of this law because it is invisible, any more than there could be a valid argument against the operation of any law in nature. Yeah, let's all argue against gravity, right? You can't argue against gravity. You can't see it, but you can see the effects of it. All laws are invisible. We only see the effect, never the cause. We know that certain effects will follow certain uses of the laws in nature, and we place complete reliance upon the operation not of our will or desire, but the actual operation of the law. I don't have to will gravity to work. It just does. Now, there is such a law as mind in action, and it is this law that we use when we give a treatment. Our word is operated on by a power greater than we are, an intelligence superior to ours, which is entirely independent of us as personalities. Therefore, a practitioner, when they have said that their word is for a certain person or a specific situation or condition, gives their treatment feeling that it is entirely independent of precedent or anything that has happened before. That in a certain sense, it becomes an actual entity in the field of the universal mind that operates upon it. Okay. All right. I want to go back and think about that line. Every sense of personal responsibility or individual obligation, other than the obligation to do one's work to the best of one's ability, must be dropped from the mind. Okay? Every personal responsibility. Yep. like if you ask me to treat for you, I am going to treat for you to the best of my ability. But that is all of my responsibility. There should be no thought of anxiety, even as there should be no feeling of uncertainty. The law operates on the word you speak, not because of your wishing or willing, but because that is the way the law works. So I have no power in and of myself in the treatment. All I'm doing is giving structure to. I'm giving the mind something to do. I don't do the work. Jesus said the same thing. It is not I, but the Father within me that does the work. That is spiritual mind treatment. All we do is give structure to and let the mind do the work. All right. This is the principle you are dealing with. This is the principle you are using. And this is the certainty upon which you can rely. That means that it doesn't matter. Like I said, I can do the treatment. You can do the treatment. The Dalai Lama can do the treatment. It's going to have the same amount of power. Because it is not the power of the practitioner. It is the power of what we are speaking into. It is the power of the mind. There is a vast difference in our mental reaction when we know that we are dealing with a law that operates upon our word than there would be if we felt we had to push that word to make it something or go somewhere or become something. And so again, we come right back to the very foundation of the whole theory upon which this practice is built, that we live in a universe which sustains itself by itself, out of itself, within itself. Every scientist must follow the same rule. They use a certain law. It is the nature of the law that they use to respond to the way they use it. We have the obligation to do the best we can. The responsibility rests in the law of good. So, Jesse tells a story, and it may be him, early on when he became a practitioner, or he may be telling the story about somebody else, and it's possible that it's both, and I'm just conflating two stories, where somebody high up in the movement who was dealing with a situation came to him and said, "Will you treat for me?" And immediately, because he was a newly minted practitioner, he went, "Oh my God, you are, why are you?" And the person reassured him by saying, "Look, it's not you that's doing the work. All you're doing is the treatment. The work's going to be done by the divine." So, don't stress yourself out about it. The Dalai Lama can give a treatment. I can give a treatment. Bishop, Reverend Tutu, can do a treatment. Who's that one that's been everywhere lately? Any of them can do a treatment. And my treatment is going to be just as good because we're all dealing with the same principle. It's going to have the same amount of power. Your treatment is going to have the same amount of power because it's not coming from you. It's coming through you. And when you can wrap your mind around that, then you don't have imposter syndrome about doing treatments. And it doesn't matter the situation that comes to you, because again, all you are doing is giving structure to form. You are telling the law, this is the situation, this is the outcome, and letting the law do it. So, independent. The treatment is independent of the one who gives it. It's never our willpower. And honestly, that is a huge comfort when it comes to doing treatments for other people. All I got to do is know what you want, and then I give it words that gives it form, and then I let the law do the work. All right. That is my word. I have spoken it. Tomorrow, we will do, what will we do tomorrow? Spiritual mind healing and mental suggestion. Who knows what that's going to be about? But right now, I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take care of business day, a let's get this week started off right day, a you got this day, a make sure you take some time for yourself day, a drink plenty of water day, a stay out of the direct sunlight between 10 and 2 day, a be aware of the heat day. Our heat index is going to be at 104 today. So yes, take care of yourself day. I think I'm out of words day. So a good day. And if that is too much pressure, and I do understand occasionally it is, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You're a beloved expression of the divine. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a brilliant light, a divine spark, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time. At your own pace. Very important part of that statement. Okay? And as Reverend Jessica likes to call us, you are godly. So explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be. Because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9-ish tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.